Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NFT Morning Show. Today is Monday, June 5th. We are back after the weekend, back in your life right here, ready to discuss all things NFTs, crypto, technology, entertainment, gaming, finance, and everything in between. We run the show Monday through Friday. If it's your first time listening, make sure that you come back. I'm your host, P.O., here with my co-host, Nifty Nick, looking sharp this morning. Easy Eats Bodega, the dog behind BoDogmas, and the host of GM Market Talk. Signal, the host of Artist Spotlight, coder turned content creator and weather reporter extraordinaire. Clemente, the producer behind the scenes of the show. And of course, we got Bunny. Bunny, you said, thank God I didn't get Nick.
I that's a typo. Son of thank God I didn't bet Nick. Remember, I was going to bet him $1,000 on D God's not flipping mutants in like 2 months or something. I would have lost $1,000.
Yeah, I do remember you really having opinions on that. I also realized I did not introduce the man himself, Kix, the CEO of Crypto Raiders, so I have to make sure that I remember him. But yeah, I saw Easy also tweeting about that. Basically, what? So Bunny was so sure that D-Gods weren't going to flip mutants, and now D-Gods are going to flip mutants, or did flip mutants?
They flipped them for a couple hours.
And he bet Nick. Nick was taking the other side of that bet.
I think Nick, I'm surprised. Well, Nick's now out on Yuga Labs, but Bunny, it's
no, I'm not. Whoa, that's like ridiculous. That is not an accurate assessment.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing all right.
Other than turning me on with your good bets.
What's that?
Other than turning me on with your good bets.
Are you aroused?
Yeah, like not sexually, but like brain wise. Like that was a good bet. That was a confident call. You should have been lining that up. You should have been taking 2-to-1 odds across the board.
I mean, yeah, I definitely should have. My voice is sounding different actually with this microphone, but I'm doing all right. I'm realizing I woke up, was watching a video about sleep optimization, and was like, oh, I didn't sleep.
This
like
is beautiful.
Last night, I was not feeling optimized. Let's just say that.
Well, you optimizing sleep, that's getting me excited because we know 9-hour Nick carries a big punch. Speaking of bold claims that weren't right, I was like totally all in on captains flipping Azuki. And what did Azuki do? Azuki ran on my bad bet. So, you know, bad calls left and right here on the show. No, I'm just kidding. Easy's got all the good calls, right? Anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. Today, we're going to discuss D-God's latest announcement and the flipping of mutant apes. Apple's expected AR and VR headset reveal today. I saw some Metaverse coins running on that.
I'm taking the day off, by the way, dude, just to watch that. So everyone else here, y'all are expected to work. You better do a good job today. Okay?
Nick,
put in that work. I'm here. Just deliver the information of what I observe.
It's probably a 3-day holiday in Europe for it.
In Europe, dude, they
have love Apple.
They have a 5-day holiday every week. Like that's just the way it works.
You're totally jealous about it.
We're so jealous.
That is true. You probably have more optimized sleep. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, not only do we have more optimized sleep, we actually see the sun. So we see the sun in the morning because we don't have to be in the office until about, I don't know, 11:30. So we get like that morning light. And then because, you know, we're on our cigarette breaks or we're taking a snack, we just wander out at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., get that evening sun. We all sleep like babies over here.
What's your morning routine look like then?
Oh, hold on. Before Signal answers, my mental image of Signal's morning routine is just basically behavior that leads to championships. I just feel like she's up at like 4:30 a.m. You know.
Fuck no. I don't know if you guys watched the Pudgy. Pudgy Penguins put out a fantastic reel, which is like, which Pudgy are you? Like more like morning people be like, and the morning people are like, oh, they wake up, they go for a run, they clean their house, they make the coffee, they read the newspaper, and then the other Pudgy is just like it has like this duvet over its head. It comes out and then it's like sliding its body over the floor just to like be able to get to like, you know, the other side of the room. And I was like, bang on. That's such a good reel by Pudgies. Some days I'm morning Pudgy. Other days I'm like late morning Pudgy. But inside, deep in me, I always want to be that guy the broom and the coffee and the run. But yeah, I mean, doing that 100%, you have to be Goggins, and I'm not Goggins, though I'd like to be.
I was telling my mom and her boyfriend about David Goggins yesterday when we went out to brunch, and I was just like, "Stay hard."
What was their response to Goggins?
They thought it was funny. My mom's boyfriend, I mean, they've been together for like 8 years, so I don't know what to call him. But
Dad.
I call him dad. I call him daddy. Daddy. Hey, daddy. So,
And I have divorced parents. I'm allowed to make that joke.
I told him that stay hard is like a motto that sort of men tell themselves during intimate moments. So that's how I described it. And that's what David Goggins is all about.
Very nice. Very nice. I've showed my mom David Goggins videos before, specifically like the ones where the car's driving next to him and he's like on a 20-mile run or whatever he's doing. And he's just like, they used to say, and like, whatever, like, story he's going to tell you. One of my favorite ones real quick, since the David Goggins content has been doing so well on other platforms, there was a video where someone tricked David Goggins. So basically Goggins comes on the video and he's like, had this fan email me. It said he was a quadriplegic, didn't have any arms, didn't have any legs. And he's like, so I sent him some merch. Found out the guy was faking it. He was a lie. It was all like BS. Goggins goes to like the USPS or UPS fulfillment facility and intercepts the package himself of the merch to the faker. And in the video, he's holding the box and he was just like, well, you're not getting this merch today or ever, or like something like that. And he always has like a rule at the end of the videos. I don't think we've ever talked about this, but all the videos end with like a rule for living type of thing.
Number 16, never impersonate a quadriplegic.
Okay, well, he doesn't have a number on it, but he was just like, the rule for today, don't be a dick. And then the video just ends. It's like a good video, man.
You go to hell straight away if you impersonate a quadriplegic to get free merch. Like that you go to hell. I'm pretty sure I read that in the Bible.
But the fact that Goggins, like whatever he had on tap on his schedule that day, I have to assume it was interrupted. Like, cancel all my meetings. I'm going to the fulfillment center and explaining the situation. First of all, isn't that like illegal to like take? I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, it's a federal crime. But also, like, I don't think that they have like a entrance for normal people at these distribution centers. You know what I mean? I don't think they have like a lobby where you can just like show up and be like, hey, I'm looking to intercept a package. I saw on my tracking that I think it's somewhere in your.
There's only two places you could potentially do it, and it's where you drop it off or where like maybe the delivery place, but even the delivery place, most of those spots for UPS, the routing centers are in like middle of nowhere. So like you're not actually like, I don't know how, I'm curious how he did that. That's like a security situation.
That's what I mean. But I feel like with him, he can figure it out because he's David Goggins. By the way, Clemente, we want to see that Pudgy reel. If you want to find it easily, you can go to Viola Davis, Academy Award-winning actress Viola Davis's Instagram, because she actually posted it, which is kind of wild, to her millions of followers.
Are they both repped by like CAA or something like that?
That would make sense.
I mean, I don't think so. Viola, because I actually follow Viola, and she always shares the funniest stuff on her account, and this is very much in line with the kind of things she would share.
She's in fact signed by CAA.
Is she?
Just did a quick Google search. Viola Davis, an Oscar-nominated actress, producer, New York Times best-selling author, has been signed by CAA.
How many views does this one have? This is in the millions now, right?
Go to the reels. It looks like 250,000 or 4.8 million. Wow. That's a lot.
Sorry, 5.5. Yeah.
5.5.
Pudgy Penguins absolutely crushing it on Instagram. But what does that do for the holders? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Like literally Luca's like busting his ass, building a social media empire. He's getting 5 million views on an NFT video. Some guy's like, yeah, but what does it do for the NFTs?
I've been holding for 35 days. I've been holding for 35 days. Haven't seen this guy do nothing for me.
What's the AdSense return to holders on this Instagram reel?
That's the best.
So I had a conversation with ChatGPT about like business structure and strategy, and it was literally suggesting an approach where it was like, they just called it dividends. It was like they had listened to our show and they were like, yeah, and then you could also like just issue dividends to holders. And I'm like, yeah, so we're not going to call it that. But
so you're like, so ChatGPT, listen, buddy, listen.
I'm like, we've been through this already. We're not going to be issuing dividends, but there are some interesting NFTs you can burn things for, but not dividends. We're not going to do dividends. That's just not going to, but we may airdrop an NFT to people that's worth something, but not dividends. That's not going to be something that we end up.
ChatGPT is a robot, Nick. It doesn't have the nuance. You can explain that to it, but it's going to be like, that's a dividend. What are you talking about? That's a dividend. Like,
and it's unemotional about it, basically. It
started pushing back on you on it. It was like, yeah, you really gotta do the dividends, dude. Like, just I'm a holder as ChatGPT. I own one of these assets. Give me fucking money.
Literally every question I ask it. So what would you do next in this scenario? I'd issue a dividend.
It's just hung up on that.
Play with me. So you came up with this name and this narrative, and for this project, what's like the next step that you're taking? Dividend. Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this show, ladies and gentlemen. Today's free NFT is part of our Artist Spotlight series. The Artist Spotlight series at the Nifty is something that we're really excited about. Signal is the host of the Artist Spotlight content vertical, where she interviews notable artists throughout the space that we think are doing really great work and tries to shine a light on the work that they're doing. We want to keep doing it. It is not a sponsored thing. It's totally free for the artists. It's something that we just love doing because we love to, again, support the artists in the community. So today's free NFT is by an artist named Jesse Smith. Jesse is a multidisciplinary artist who started his career by conquering the tattoo world, and he's been featured in almost every tattoo magazine and made an appearance in the reality TV show called Ink Master.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You've seen that? Very nice. So you got a fan in Kicks. So yeah, through NFT
TV show, he didn't necessarily see this guy.
Okay,
I have in fact seen this guy on Ink Master. I don't think I've missed an episode of Ink Master.
Thanks, guys. I'm sure Jesse was hanging on that. He was like, "Did the jackasses on this show see me on Ink Master?"
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I didn't realize that was disruptive. But I mean, I just feel like the nuance of how many. What was there some drama associated with the ink? Isn't it usually explaining the narrative behind the person and the reason that they're actually getting that tattoo? Is that what?
No, Ink Master is a competition in which they all create a piece of art on somebody who's there. They just apply to go on. They don't know what tattoo they're going to get. There's a challenge each week. And yeah, Jesse Smith. He was actually, I forget what season he was on, but this is dope. This is absolutely awesome. But yeah, he was in a pretty big season of that.
Yeah, we're super pumped about. I mean, he's an insanely talented artist. If you check out like his NFT artwork, you'll probably see the tattoo influence and just see how dope that work is for the NFT world. So yeah, make sure you follow Jesse. Clemente is going to have a tweet pinned to the top, and the free NFT today again is Jesse Smith made the free NFT today. Courtesy of. Look, it's Monday. Come on now. I didn't sleep optimize last night, Nick, so I'm not.
I didn't either, dude. I was trying to figure it out. It's probably because I ate a giant piece of bread right before going to bed. It's super tasty bread that I got from this place in near my mom. Woo. And I've been like fiending for this bread, and every time I go back, it's closed on the days that I'm there. And this time it was there, and my mom had not yet got me a birthday present. And she was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "That bread. Get me that bread."
You slap some butter on that, or what do you do?
No, you literally just grab a piece of it and you just eat it. It's like so good. The texture is so good. There's some actual apples inside of the bread. It's ridiculous.
I'm a cheese bread guy.
It's so good. It's called
I tell the IBS that it can suck it, and then I eat bread because I'm like, I love it.
Okay. How does bread have an impact on that? I don't understand.
Irritable bowel syndrome? I think gluten is just kind of naturally inflammatory.
There you go. That's probably what was doing it. And gluten's not good for sleep.
All the chemicals we put in like the wheat and stuff in America. You can eat as much bread as you want in Europe. That's Signal.
This is natural, dude.
As much. It comes with every meal over here. Every meal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's actually, sorry, this is totally off key, but it's kind of weird that they serve the bread before the meal because you think you'd want to eat your meal, but no, they serve you the bread. And then the bread is so good, you end up eating all the bread and then you're not hungry anymore.
Get that meal to go.
Yeah,
Double
exactly.
that meal count.
I get you. I get you. But the apple in the bread, I haven't tasted that before. Apple in bread.
There's a little bit maybe like cinnamon like substance on there. Do you see that flicker on your?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I already turned off the camera, turned it on again, disconnected it.
I don't think it's you. It's wherever it's streaming from is the issue. So it's the streaming issue, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, well, because I saw it flicker on Easy also, so I think that's or whoever. Anyways,
we'll dig into it. I love Coach called out the gluten report with Kicks and Signal. That's a new segment for us. Is just focused on the gluten. Real quick, Nick. Now that I've moved, there's my favorite bakery in New York near where I live now. Right, the one that I discovered during the pandemic.
Your background looks way better, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean the guy came and mounted everything. We're set up here. You got to come through. But anyway, at that bakery, Action Bronson went to that bakery on one of his shows long after I discovered it. So I was like really pumped to go to it. So I went to the website to see the hours, and get this. They opened a second location years ago near where you live, Nick. So I could have just been chowing down on the damn bread all last year. Had no idea.
Oh my God. Well, you got to send me where that bread spot is. Hopefully they got this stuff. Daily Harvest is what this place is called.
This is a Frenchman who's been he was from Paris, and he started working in bakeries.
I saw a video of that actually.
Yeah, he started working in bakeries when he was 10. So it is the best bread. My mom's a huge hater when it comes to bread in the United States. She'll just hate on whatever bread because it's not that good. This is her favorite bread I think she's ever gotten in the United States is this gentleman's bread.
That's a testimonial right there. You can find that on Google reviews.
And one last thing, I'll tell you who are Goggins. Bakers are Goggins. Do you know what time they wake up to make
like
that
2
bread?
a.m.
2 a.m., 3 a.m. These people, and they're working all morning until the bread is sold. So, I mean, if you want to become Goggins in your life, you have to become a baker.
Or Jiro Dreams of Sushi, who gets up early for the fresh fish and also the rice, the making of the rice. The people that work for him, I think, spend 10 years making the rice every morning. That's all that they do.
Well, there you go. And yeah, so like on that subject, Signal, real quick before we get into the weather report. I promise, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the show in a second.
It's about NFTs.
It's about bread.
Potatoes.
It's
collectibles.
It's about making bread. But anyway, during the pandemic, right, there'd be a line outside this bakery because there weren't any other places open, but these guys stayed open. So everyone started going there for the croissants, the bread, you know, all the delicious stuff that the guy's making. It was one guy working like the cash register, and then the guy that makes the bread in the back, and you would see him and just the grind, like using his elbows on the bread, like kneading the hell out of it. And I was like, this guy's like inspiring me. He's just making bread all day.
Yeah, you know, like some people that do that kind of stuff, like they have weirdly jacked muscles, but the rest aren't jacked. Like
that's him.
Bakers have like weirdly jacked thumb muscles or like elbow muscles.
The whole forearm. I mean, it's just a meat hook. Yeah. Don't need a clothesline from this guy. Come on now.
He's like those Sicilian mamas, like the old Sicilian grandmas. And when they're kneading the pasta, they're like their knuckles have like you know how rowers have these horrible marks on their
calluses.
Hands? The calluses, thank you. Yeah, that's what Sicilian like grandmas have, and I imagine that guy has it on his elbows from all the bread.
Yeah, I have that from World of Warcraft, being a top 1% rogue.
I have that from doing so many pull-ups back when I was 16. Pio's nodding his head. Like
he's not needing it.
Complete jerk. Like,
come on, I'm just playing with you.
Disrespectful. Don't speak to your dad like that.
Now your mom's boyfriend is your dad, but you're my dad, so he's my grandfather. That's pretty good.
I go by daddy in this office.
That is true. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick before we get in, Nick does demand that every single person that works at our organization call him daddy. This is the first time we've talked about it publicly. I can't wait to see how many people reach out to me with a lawsuit. Anyway, let's rock and roll. Let's party. Kicks on the weather report. Let's go.
I'm ready today, Coach. I wasn't going to let you down. Let's get in there. Today, the volume's looking not too bad. 23.2 million. We got Blur coming in 10.2. OpenSea 5 million. Leaders, Apes 46.8. Mutants, they said, we like 2 digits. Let's get above 10. Punks 52.9. Azukis 17.5. People just keep buying those. Captains briefly try to get above 10, chilling at 9.9.
Mike.
D-Gods 9.3, baby. Pudgy said, oh, we're fat. We run a little slower, 4.7. But they'll catch up. Read the tortoise and the hare if you don't know how that ends. Over the weekend, Frank D-Gods rolled out DID.
Aside from the slick new design, DID is a way to follow all verified DGOTs and UTs holders and create a Twitter-native source of truth. It's not in a spreadsheet like Ordinals. They're using real technology. Holders love the new feature. DGOTs hit 10 ETH briefly. UTs went over a 2 ETH floor.
We built that.
Over at the Metaverse coins, ApeCoin, Sandbox, Axie Infinity, all moved up ahead of Apple's announcement and could see higher moves if the AR announcement goes well. Sandbox and Decentraland up 5% over the past 24 hours. There was some major green action across the market on the weekend, according to NFT statistics. On Friday, large cap PFPs had the single biggest move up over the past 6 months, led by Azuki, who reached a one-year high of 17.5 ETH. Lastly, I know you were wondering this. Sproto Gremlins. Probably seen that all over your feed. The NFT project of the infamous Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu meme coin. It went supersonic this weekend. Collection was a free mint if you held the coin at snapshot. Saw sales hitting 0.6 ETH before settling at 0.4 ETH this morning. Let's briefly look it over at crypto, see what's going on. Bitcoin, 26.7, ETH, 1,800, Solana, 21.68. 3.3. Back to you in the studio.
I mean, that was phenomenal, Kicks. I love the energy here on a Monday morning. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone else is like, I got a case of the Mondays. Kicks said, this is what I do, baby. This is what I do. Some other updates from the Nifty Daily Digest. Sign up at thenifty.com. Make sure that you have an account there to claim today's free NFT by Jesse Smith, incredibly talented artist, courtesy of Artist Spotlight today. Anyway, 2 little updates from the Nifty Daily Digest. Blur is anticipated to make 2 upcoming announcements, with one involving an update to the bidding and listing incentive system, while the second announcement is potentially linked to the Blur token. I was saying I wanted to figure out a way to make a case to buy the damn Blur token, but it's so hard to figure it out. It's so hard to understand when it's a good time to buy and when it's a bad time. So maybe this will give us some light. Other thing, some users of the non-custodial decentralized wallet, Atomic Wallet, have reported experiencing complete losses of their crypto portfolios after an exploit, while the specific details of the attack method remain unclear. So yet another hack, another drain in the crypto ecosystem.
You know where that doesn't happen?
On our platform?
Phantom Wallet, dude. They just they haven't had that happen. They wouldn't have that happen.
They would not. That's
That's what I
absolutely
don't
true.
get.
I can't make a claim
Wallets are-
like that.
wallets are
Actually,
free.
the lawyers just pinged me and said, "You remember how you guys worked with the FTX? Yeah, that was a fucking dumb idea. And now you're making bold claims like this. Sorry, lawyers."
The Atomic Wallet thing had some information come out today too about they believe the hack was potentially an insider.
Inside job.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, and that the people who opened the wallet post hack had their private keys exposed.
Yeah.
So that's like the speculation on it. I've been following it a little bit closely over the weekend because like my favorite part about it is their catchphrase, like their slogan is "Your keys, your crypto." So like, yeah, that's clearly worked out pretty well.
To get rid of the why, it's our keys, our
our
crypto.
keys, our crypto is probably a little better take. The also, I love that Kix did bring up the Sproto Gremlins. Bunny personally messaged me these at 0.03 and said, "I like the art," and I was like, "Dude, you might be my least favorite human being in the world." And
That
not
would've
even
punched
24
him in the
hours later, dude, 24 hours later, the token with the ticker Bitcoin, also called Harry Potter Obama 10 Sonic Inu, went up from a 500K market cap to 5 million. So did a 10X. And then this morning it's sitting at about 12 million.
Easy.
So
I'm
just-
pretty sure Buddy's on that team.
He has to be, dude. He has to be. Yeah, Bunny, you got some explaining to do.
Bunny, speak up, you sketchy bastard.
He's always on shows
not
with
on the
like
team.
Ben.eth and shit like that. Like, what the hell?
Dude, Bunny, this one looks like you. That's the worst part. Like, we're looking at one of them right now, and it looks identical to you. Like, multiple times we've spent time together. This one just, it reverberates who you are.
He does have that blue skin.
He does, yeah, and an eyeball in the center of his chest.
Bunny, you're a sketchy crypto guy. What's the story here? How much of an allocation did you get from this?
10%.
That's a lot. Wait, so you got 10% of this thing?
Yep.
No, be serious. How much did you get?
0%.
We know.
Yeah.
Bunny's not smart enough to negotiate that deal. No,
He
I'm
also
just kidding,
didn't buy
Bunny.
any of them when he sent it at 0.03, so
Bunny has integrity, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. It'd be nice to have a sketchy person on the team just getting us scams.
Dude, it actually would. Like literally, our floor price would be triple what it's at if we just started scamming people. Like literally, like the meme or the current meme is steal
Scam
people's
people.
money. Yeah, like literally scam people. So, like I don't know how, like what do you do in that meme? Like what's our play?
First thing you do, you watch Tinker
scam
Tailor Soldier Spy. Great spy movie, and it's going to help you understand deception and how sometimes people closest to you are the ones that are really betraying you. After we finish reading that, I think we're pretty much 80% of the way there.
Nick, we chose to try to, build an IP business out and, do the whole thing. Instead, it just should have been like, here's a wallet address, send ETH to it.
And go fuck yourself.
You get nothing. Anyway, so first topic, Dust Labs unveils DID version 0.1 over the weekend, results in a positive price action, a temporary flippening of the mutants. Some of the features is that you can connect your wallet and your Twitter and get instantly followed by DGods and Utes. Now I know why Nick said we built that, because we literally did. And unfollowed if you sell, which is pretty funny. The goal is to be the social profile, quote unquote, that you've always wanted. And the DGods account is following over 1,000 people. Utes is following over 1,500 since the feature was rolled out. In quotes, the simple Dust Lab thesis is to build software that helps people save time, make friends, and earn money. Well, I know which one of those three things the crypto market cares most about.
They want
Coming
cash, baby.
Oh, look at Nick taking out that paper cash. That's wow, that's crazy.
$2. Look at those 20s up there, though.
I'm billing. That looks like it's about $260, Nick.
It's actually maybe closer to like, I don't know.
What, you got some paper, boy? Well, kicks to it.
Kicks, while you're yelling into the mic and nobody can hear you.
No one can hear you, but you have cash.
They can see that cash.
Straight 20s, dude. There ain't singles hiding between here, dude. It's just straight breaks.
No. You gotta. If your desk doesn't have a stack of cash on it, are you really living?
Yeah,
I guess not. I have.
You don't own but you got money in your wallet.
Got it. Look at that. She's got euros.
That European paper.
Even worse, I don't even know what money this is. This is like, oh, Hong Kong. Oh, easy. I got Hong Kong money here. Awesome.
No, we need Singaporean dollars.
Sorry,
it's the only one that matters.
No, Hong Kong and this is Bank of China. Okay, no Singaporean dollars.
I only hold 20s because of Sir Andrew Jackson, the GOAT.
Hide the American money. Just show Signal's Hong Kong money. We're based in Hong Kong and we're issuing a token, ladies and gentlemen. So don't worry about it. So in all seriousness, what do you guys make of this Dust Labs?
$500+ right here, baby.
You can get some bread with that bread, dude.
Legit.
I'll see you at the bakery. So here we go. So we're talking about Dust Labs announcement here and the positive price action on Utes. I mean, we've seen positive price action in the NFT market in general, and obviously it's Bitcoin summer with the BRC20s and Ordinals pumping. I don't know. What do you guys make of this? This seems like it's shaping up that Frank is positioning DGods and Utes in a pretty strong position going into the summer. I don't know. It looks pretty good to me. Easy, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's so like I'm like a big fan of like how they rolled it out. I thought it was really smooth. The only thing that and I haven't publicly like asked this, but like I do have one concern, and it's like, what happens if like a scammer just buys a DGod, gets followed by the page, and starts shilling like some BS? Because like you have all this like auto follow stuff, and like that's the only real negative I saw behind it. But like it's great to see them roll something like this out. They combine the Discords. Frank asked publicly yesterday for feedback on Ute Season 2, DGod Season 3, and asked for like targeted feedback on everything that they've shared. So the Discord's been hyper active. The nice thing too is it's like a resurgence for their community, because a lot of the speculation was that the Utes Discord was dead, and that kind of had like some negative connotation around it. People thought that it was like kind of a negative for the overall ecosystem, and seeing this is something that I'm a fan of because it does. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish this thing.
No,
Nick, you felt like you needed to stop him. He was
Nope, you're the father figure. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go.
He's the daddy.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not calling him that. I'll bring it up. Bunny from HR can address that and apologize.
You told me that on every meeting. We start every meeting off with "Hi, Daddy." That's how every meeting starts, dude. Come on.
So abusive.
Just acknowledge it. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yep.
So the thing,
Daddy does what he wants.
Okay. So when it comes to Discord, that's the one thing for me that I'm like really on the fence about here. Like, I'm not convinced about the long-term like community center being Discord. That's something that like I don't know, like what people think about like the future of this being like.
You're a big Slack guy. I get it.
It's not a Discord thing though. It's like, you got to remember, like, dude, people used to go on forums to interact with people on the internet. Then it became AOL chat rooms on the internet. And then you also have situations where it's like,
well, okay, it was news groups.
okay,
then
so
AOL
yeah,
chat rooms.
As a father, you have
forums.
so much earlier time on the internet than I do.
Easy and I
was a
were
little bit
more like
later.
Club Penguin chatters.
Yeah, dude, like, come on. All right, World of Warcraft group chats and clans and all that other fun jazz. My bad, guy. But I'm just saying, like, this is for now. I don't think this is forever. Like, I do think something will end up replacing Discord eventually. But it's like even now we're already seeing like more, like the reason the Utes Discord was so dead and the speculation was that there was so many sub DAOs and sub communities of certain traits that created their own Twitter groups. And that's where allocations would happen for like other projects. That's where the communication would occur. And you're even seeing a lot of people present day that interact more in Twitter DM groups than Discord groups from like multiple ecosystems, which like, so we're already seeing some of a shift, but like, it's tough to say that like Discord at the current moment is not the center point, and that like, if you like, I think there's value in leaning into that until something better replaces it.
And isn't this the better replacement? Because by having verified holders, then you can take that conversation to Twitter, or you can have that conversation in the Discord. So it gives the community a choice as to, you know, how they want to communicate with each other. And another feature I really like about this is the fact that from the team side, at least, they can now start to figure out whether it's keyboard warriors attacking them when they do something which the community doesn't agree on, or whether it's actually verified holders. And I think that's really good, both from a user's perspective on Twitter, that you're seeing that the FUD is coming from like other communities, let's say, or if it's coming from the actual Utes DGOS community. And I think that's really powerful, because we've seen other communities in the past get taken down by other communities that have been very aggressive towards them for mistakes that have been done in the past. And it's just good to be able to clear out the keyboard warriors and actually find out, is this real, verifiable feedback, or is it just fake news?
So we actually have something that we want to do around that right now, but it's also based on, if you go connect to the nifty.com, connect your account, and you have a portal. We have basically 1,300 people there right now who've connected. So we've built a lot of stuff around that, and connect your Twitter account. There's a bunch of stuff we have planned for that. But anyways,
that's awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, look, the Metaverse coins are seeing price action ahead of the Apple AR VR headset announcement. We know this story. We know this game from when Facebook renamed to Meta. And I mean, Kix, you traded Sand token when that happened, right? That was like a 10x?
And Decentraland. Just add it to the list of just generational wealth fumbles. I bought a absolutely massive bag of both of them on Friday. Saturday, they were up like 80% each. I'm like, I'm going to the park with the kids. I don't want to look at the prices. So I sold it. Then it did a 6x from there. I would be retired now.
I mean, well, no, you wouldn't, but it's not that much money.
Not that much, especially with inflation.
This has to be a short-term pump. Well, so I was talking about it last week on the show because I was paying attention to my stock portfolio and watching it basically just claw back because it really has been, right? And so I do feel like markets are forward-looking. It's going to be 2024 is going to be juicy AF with, the presidential election. If you're paying attention to what Elon Musk is doing, he's basically like picking candidates on both sides to give platforms to. He did a Twitter space with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr. Jack Dorsey weighed in that was a good call. I feel like succession is happening right in front of us. It's kind of fun,
Jack
right?
Dorsey didn't even weigh in. He put his horse in the race behind RFK. They were like, is this you vouching for the guy? He's like 1000%. This is my pick. And he posted it publicly on Twitter. Was very vocal that this was the guy. Elon has him on a space today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm excited. I do want to tune into that. Hopefully I gotta double check the calendar, but that's one I want to listen into. There was a bunch of issues with spaces over the weekend as well. where like people are speculating that they're increasing the infrastructure to help manage this, because we saw the one with DeSantis basically crash 3 times before finally getting it up and running. But yeah, I mean, RFK's been a diehard advocate for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, baby.
Yeah, diehard. And just crypto
Yeah,
in
his
general.
wife is the wife of Larry on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes, it's Cheryl Hines. Yes,
But
that
dude,
is
I'm
not
very nice
relevant to
too.
what we're talking about.
Not at
but
all. But that's okay.
Beautiful woman.
It's okay. Yeah,
Oh,
okay. Okay.
All right.
But let's
Saying.
get back
I
to
read
the
about it yesterday.
politics. Let's get
Okay.
back to the politics.
Okay.
The House Republicans, or I think Senate, pushed a bill forward as well to have crypto regarded as a commodity, not a security. And so that's actually moving forward. It's the second time that they've tried this. I'm hopeful for it because, man, if we can start classifying digital assets as commodities, I will be so excited. Honestly, even if they classify it as a security, at least we get some form of like
Clarity.
regulation. That's it. That's all we need is just this is what it is. This is how you manage it. This is what you can and can't do. And we're going to be in a better situation.
We got audio. This is a bad audio day, and I don't even think it's anybody's fault. It's like StreamYard's fault or something. I don't know. There's like static everywhere. Just everyone on the show, just make sure you're on the right audio, but I think everybody is.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but anyway, okay.
with like Decentraland and Sandbox and all that jazz, I think this is algos pumping it or some people trying to short-term pump it. There's like there's less correlation here than when like Facebook rebranded their name to Meta.
Well, the bet is that the AR, the augmented reality, is going to lead to a push for it, which I don't agree with at all.
Yeah, that's
So
what's keeping Decentraland's user count down is they just needed Apple AR headsets. And
yeah, but I think that is interesting. People are speculating that this Apple headset is going to lead to more of a metaverse focus. But dude, I just think that like the metaverse in general, like Diablo 4 is a metaverse, bro. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. Like, these opportunities to play globally with other individuals in a video game setting has an argument to be made. And I don't think that Mana and Sandbox are going to giga-send because Apple's releasing their AR headset.
How about if Axie Infinity is featured in it?
That's why I said Axie Infinity is the least weird one because they're already on the Apple Store.
That's why it's already pushing because it's the first App Store product that can bring NFTs externally into an iPhone app completely above board. You can download the app, you can buy them in game, you can use Apple Pay, and you can bring external NFTs into the game. NFL Rivals is doing it now as well. And we just saw StepN, which is the only app that lets you use Apple Pay to buy NFTs.
To be honest, I could see something like Decentraland, like giga-sending, if it's somehow featured in the presentation, simply because, do you remember when they had that news that, I can't remember which country it was, I want to say Saudi Arabia, was like, they had some kind of partnership with the country for Decentraland. And
Saudi Arabia launched the Decentraland Mall.
There you go. And it absolutely gigasent. And I think the partnership was even bigger, even bigger and beyond that. And so I can see it sending more if it somehow features specifically in the presentation rather than just sort of like a general all metaverse coins pump right now. I don't see them going much further than they are now, but the ones which are featured will gigasend. And Axie Infinity makes the most obvious sense here.
What about Worldwide Webland? Anyone remember that? What's going on with Worldwide Webland? Kicks, you're muted.
Good old WW3. I think they're still doing things. I think they were launching a MOBA last news event I got from them. So like a battler, like a arena battler kind of game. But they're still working. I think they also got a fundraising deal.
Okay.
They closed like 8 or 10 million or something like that.
Sounds like they're still around. Clemente, I saw you raise your hand. What's going on?
Yeah, did you guys see? I saw like 10 different tweets of people going, yeah, guys, Yuga and Apple are partnering up. Like, wait for it. At least 10 times.
Hands down the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And we've seen a lot of dumb stuff in this space. Like that may go down as the stupidest take I've seen in the last 2 years. And
the $3 trillion company is like, we need to get some good Web3 partnerships for this presentation.
I think the only one dumber than that was that mutant hounds were going to get bought by Yuga. Do you guys remember that? Nick, you're muted.
I remember when we were talking about the whole like phone booth theory because there's like stickers on the phone booth, and I was like,
a phone booth in Miami that was 3 brands that was supposedly tied to Yuga, and Yuga released it, and none of them panned out. Not a single one.
Well, if Yuga Labs is in this presentation, we're all going to look like idiots.
Like literally.
I want to be proven wrong. I want someone to clip that and be like, you are the moron. And I'll be like, yes, I am. You're spot on.
Are any of you guys actually interested in buying this?
Yes, 1000%. Like,
even
no
even at like a
hesitation,
$3,000, I'm
zero
hearing
hesitation.
$3,000. Zero.
Not,
Okay, why?
not even blink twice. Like,
Why?
I just want it.
You have Oculus.
So I was talking to Nick about this. I'm an Angry Birds. Yeah, Nick wants it too. He's
We
talking.
can't
He's
hear
muted.
Nick.
His audio doesn't work. I'm dissecting what he's saying. He's talking with his hands. He's really excited for
He's
it.
a
Excited.
mime.
He cannot wait to play Angry Birds of all things. Okay, Angry Birds. Okay. He's putting it on now. He's wearing it. Yes, GQ Nick with the Apple glasses. Oh wow, look at this, dragons, and oh, it's so beautiful.
Wow,
And
he's
envisioning the world.
overjoyed.
But Sig, the Oculus is heavy, and that's the issue. Like when I'm like an Angry Birds addict on the Oculus. I love the thing, but it hurts my face. Like that's the thing. It's a very like big product, and I think Apple, a lot of the tease is like they're going to be doing more AR versus VR, and that's what we actually saw Meta shift to. Was like you can put it on and still see through the glasses and like be able to interact still. And I think Apple's going to go that route. Like Facebook tried to front run them on it. But it's also going to be a smaller size, which is like a win for everybody. And Apple just tends to do stuff better. Like Android has more feature functionality, but I still use an iPhone every day, and that's never going to change. And so it's just like I'm in that boat, and I just want it because I don't know, maybe I have a consumer addiction.
I personally can't wait. Pretty excited about it. I've switched to the phone now because the new audio that I'm testing out clearly is not working.
Is this
properly.
the little device?
Yeah, dude, it's still. I also have to talk with Rode. This may be another fail. Like I don't know. It's I may have to return it. That's trial and error with Rode.
Trial and error. It's okay. We're happy to have you here on the on the phone. So all right, basically, I just want to know NFTs wise, right? Every time we've seen prolonged NFTs are dead, nobody cares about NFTs. I saw people tweeting in the past few months, the business model doesn't work. You know, you get the money up front and everybody rugs, blah, 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 blah. But anytime that's happened for a prolonged period, after some time, interest returns to NFTs. And it does kind of feel like we're trending that way. I hope I'm not speaking too soon and this is like not real, but I do feel like it trends that way. The other thing is that it is June and FTX happened at this point in November? And so the kind of mainstream audience just chalks things up as like crypto's dead. Like that's basically the position. It's like crypto's dead. It was stupid. But then over time, it slowly comes back to them. Or Nick, go ahead.
I was chatting with people this weekend, and a lot of people were like, crypto's coming back, right?
Oh, damn. Oh.
So that was like the general consensus from non-crypto centric people. Now they were aware, like these are people where if I brought up NFTs, they had like some concept. So they were on top of what was going on, but they're not like active in the space. But the overall sort of sentiment was pretty positive. It was like
it's definitely shifted. It's definitely shifted. My mom went from, are you going to have a job next week to how is work, which is like a nice shift, a nice change of pace.
Really?
Yeah. Like when FTX went down, she was like, are you like worried? And I was like, nah, like it'll be fun. And then now it's like just excited about it again. She's like, thinks it's cool.
Yeah. I just texted my in real life friend and I said, yo, random question. In your mind, what are the status of these two things? Is the crypto market terrible right now? Are NFTs dead? So I'm going to let you guys know what he says. I like this one. I think this is a good indicator. Anyway, Kicks, go ahead.
Yeah, just to like provide like a thing. I think the thing with like crypto too is like we have to like be like we have to compare we can't live in like a vacuum. We have to compare ourselves to like other things like tech and stuff like that. I read like a interesting tweet by a guy named NFT Sheeter who overlaid Bitcoin returns and Apple returns over the past 5 years. Guess what the better return was? Apple stock.
Apple stock's been doing, I mean, I think it's near all-time high right now. Maybe?
Yeah, but look at the Tesla stock compared to Bitcoin. Like there was an article that dropped yesterday that Bitcoin is less volatile than Facebook and Tesla over the last year, which like is one of the first times that it's happened over an extended period of time. It was a really good article, to be honest. It was talking about how Apple's ahead of it and Nvidia, which like Nvidia with the chips, obviously like that thing's crushing right now. It's got 1,600% return on the yearly.
Let Signal go. Then Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say also what's interesting as well is we've gone from like everybody being really worried about inflation to everybody now saying that there's going to be a recession, but then somehow we're in a risk-on environment, which is interesting. So it just sounds like this part of the year, these last 6 months, is really going to be about accumulation and just setting your portfolio and your positions for whatever risk-on assets you want to be in. If it does nothing or goes down, just be chill about it, because the idea is that in 2024, the market should like come back quite aggressively. At least that's what I'm seeing from on Twitter from quite a few thought leaders. So it just sounds like these last 6 months is about accumulate a position, set a strategy, and just hold it and just hold it into 2024. Because for an environment when we're meant to be going into recession, everyone is actually quite risk on, and we're seeing that across the markets.
But it's also because the debt ceiling's now paused through 2025, which is a big component of this, because theoretically there is no ceiling at the current moment. That just
there is no ceiling,
so
buddy.
like, they could keep printing, which like that in my
could?
opinion turned a lot of it. Yeah, obviously they're going to. But with all, Sig, to your point, with everyone saying 2024 is the year, I've had this thesis that Q3 2023 is the time. 1 year pre-election, like aggressive DCA on red days. And I've shared this publicly since the FTX collapse. I was like, Q3 2023 feels like it's going to be the opportune time, because it's the 1 year pre-election cycle. It is well over the year into Bitcoin halving. It's like 200 days going to Bitcoin halving. And that's actually accelerating because of how much is being minted right now with Ordinals, BRC20s, and more. We're like 3 days ahead of where they initially anticipated it because of the ramp in gas and fees and what's been going on. So like there's a lot of like major catalysts that I think are going to play into this. And election years tend to be a more fruitful year when it comes to risk on assets, because the economy has to be positive going into that for people to feel like there's some hope.
Nick?
Well, the Ordinals thing is definitely legit. I've been noticing a lot of things pump on that front. It's actually pretty crazy that the floor on these is in Bitcoin, but trading like decimals on ETH, which is just.
It feels fake.
So this is the high rollers table.
Oh yeah, baby.
0.001 profit is like, oh damn, I just made a little bag. Like I feel good. I'm eating a steak tonight. Like it feels nice.
So that's one thing, and I wonder if that sustains, then inevitably a large chunk of the speculator market is going to be operating over there if that continues in that way.
Yeah, baby.
The other thing. Okay, dude, I get it. You like Bitcoin. Okay, we understand. Thank you. Dude, why don't you just switch it under there? Pio likes Bitcoin, and that resolves the whole thing. So we can just assume
Bitcoin amigo
instead of your name. So the other thing I was going to say is the stock market, just in general, has become so much more volatile. Like it's not uncommon that I load up and I see like stocks moving 13% in a day, like amongst
all these 0-day expiration options that they've rolled out over the last year. A bunch of stocks now have like 0-day options. That's why I think there's some crazy number like Friday, like the last 14 sessions in a row have been up like big.
Well, okay, I don't know if that was like a complete.
He also just faded on the way out. It was almost like he was like, "What am I talking about?"
To explain this to you, dude. Okay.
There was no confidence in that statement.
Last
I was
14
days,
a little charts did chart things, and stocks moved. So yeah.
Yeah, he really faded hard. I just sent in the private chat Clemente a tweet by OSF. Clemente, if you could pull that up on the screen.
Oh, I saw that one. Is that the one from this weekend where he was basically saying that next year is he thinks a bull run returns?
Well, all right, so let's break this down a little bit. So first of all, OSF, one half of DGens with Mando, and they host shows with Farouk on Rug Radio, very sharp guys. And I mean, they made the iconic sale of all the Bored Apes for $9 million with a single click of the mouse through Blur, which was, I mean, that's pretty wild stuff, right? I mean, these guys are pretty damn sharp. They do come, I think, and I think they would tell you this too. They come from like a trading mentality. I believe they used to trade like distressed credit or something like that. And like they're traders, and I think they would tell you that. So this tweet from OSF from yesterday, or a couple days ago, yesterday, said, I'm convinced we see another crypto bull run and new all-time highs in 2024. So I'm just going to quickly pause there. This isn't like a groundbreaking comment because the crypto market has historically been cyclical almost to a T when it comes to timing this stuff up. So saying that isn't like a wild thing to say. Like, and you know, whether it comes in 2020,
you trying to diminish him?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying. So between whether it happens in 2024 or if it happens in 2025, the idea that so the all-time high for Bitcoin is around 69K. If you're in the audience right now and you're saying Bitcoin will never break 69K again, I think that's a weird place to be. Like that's just a very strange place to be because historically we've just seen these 4-year cycles where you get higher highs. Was the last cycle the lowest blow off top that we've ever seen? Because I believe the previous all-time high was 20K and we only hit 69K, whereas the previous all-time high before that was 3K and it went to 20K. So that's like a 6X. This time we only saw it like a 3.5X. Okay. Got it. It's not as big as it was previously. However, the idea that you don't think it's going to ever break its all-time high again is silly. And my friends from home who actually own Bitcoin, and I think know a little bit more than the average person, at least about this space, made a joke last time I was home saying like Bitcoin's going to hit like 120K in the future, huh? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, what, in 10 years? And it was just fascinating to me that that's the way they're thinking about it when historically we've seen these meteoric rises where you go from 20 to 69. That's a substantial amount. So where do we go from 69? Probably north of 100. I'm just saying.
120.
I'm just saying. So check it out. So OSF says Fed pivot and Bitcoin halving narrative will propel it. Well, I'm all the way on board on the Bitcoin halving and you're interrupting me. Why? Tell me why. It's okay to.
Is a sign of ADD. It's going to take 3 hours to finish analyzing this tweet.
So hold on.
Sentence was literally Bitcoin's going up. I'm just trying to figure out when we're going to get to line 5.
I want to get to my point. The Fed
OSF is bullish. That's the synopsis.
So check it out though. Check it out. The Fed is going to pivot eventually. NFTs will follow, but have to be picky. I'm not going to break that one down, Nick. I agree with him wholeheartedly. He goes, last year was unreal to DCA. It's a dollar cost average, which obviously is true. Bitcoin went as low as 14 or 15K when FTX melted down. So yes, that was a brilliant time to DCA, 1,000%. If we're lucky, we see people try to get ahead of that in Q4 this year. I still think we may see rate cuts then. I think that's basically in line with what Easy's saying. He said last year was unreal to DCA. This year is still good if you have capital and patience and you missed it. How would right now be a bad time to DCA at like 27K? I understand it's not as good as 15K when it's a foregone conclusion that Bitcoin is eventually going to break its all-time high of 69K. So let's say I buy a Bitcoin right now for 27K or however much it is, 28K, 29K. If I know it's going to eventually be worth more than 69K, isn't that like the best investment opportunity ever? I don't get it. Like why is right now not the best time to DCA if we know inevitably it's going to break 69K?
It's never
again?
a bad time to DCA. Like plain and simple. It's tale as old as time. Like your time in the market is better than timing the market because you'll never time a top and you'll never time a bottom. It's like the most historic thing. Like I know I'm gonna be just as happy looking back at my Solana buys sub $10 as I was buying aggressively in December sub $20 and sub 15. Like to me, my bull case on crypto across the board and like AVAX sub $10, like all these other like altcoins that I genuinely think have now established themselves with far less runtime than like ETH and Bitcoin have a lot of upward potential. And even Bitcoin, like I'm on the same boat that Bitcoin's going to trade over $100,000 at some point in my lifetime sooner than later. Yeah. I think ETH will get back up to where it has previously. And like the big thing with ETH is how deflationary it is, that's going to go on a parabolic scale.
ETH outperforms Bitcoin from a price perspective, 1,000%.
I think there's going to be new tokens that also appreciate at a much faster scale. Like when you look at cycles too, there's going to be things from this space that we looked at and didn't even think twice that in the bull are going to be like, holy shit, that was the most obvious thing. And I'm also like, the one thing I'm more excited for is like the new stuff coming into a bull. Like when you look at cycles, like Solana didn't exist last cycle. That was a big thing that went absolutely crazy this run. AVAX was far less last cycle and was even much later into that term. And the only like major players from 16 to 18 were like Filecoin, just got marked as a security. You had BAT, which is doing all right, and the Tezos ICO. Like those were the big three last cycle. And so like this is where I'm looking here is like right now, DCAing into anything you have conviction in, I feel like is the move, simply because to your point, Pierre, like you're looking at it. Why would you not, if you genuinely think it can even get back above 40K? You know what I mean? Like that's
it's just free money. Like why hold money in a savings account if you don't need that money in the next year when you know whatever amount you put into Bitcoin, it's going to be more in the next 2 years? Or I say Bitcoin, right? Say ETH if you like ETH. Say Solana if you like Solana. It's you know, out of the big chains, it's basically the same.
I'm DCAing into Apple VR headsets. Like that's a no-brainer.
You're gonna have to because it's so expensive. You're gonna have to benipple that thing. Go ahead, say.
Benipple. You can ask Apple to have the benipple products. That would be great. $60 every month. No, but like Pia, I mean, I'm totally on the same page as you, and I think maybe a lot of people who are listening will also agree that Bitcoin still has a lot of upside. For the people who are potentially like not into crypto, don't understand Bitcoin, it's still really difficult for them to take a position where they one, understand the asset, and then two, believe that there is vast potential upside that is going to even go back to 70K, right? I was talking to like this senior guy, like banker, super smart guy, and I asked him like, why aren't you in Bitcoin and ETH? And he just simply put, I think I've missed it. I think I've missed it. And for the amount that I would want to put in, it would have to be back down at, I can't remember what he said. Let's just say 10K, 12K, or below that. No, when it hit, so like let's say 10K, 12K, it would have to be there. So for him to be buying in when it's 27, he just feels like he's completely missed the boat and will probably be one of those people who may end up chasing it. So I think it's a lack of understanding sometimes of the asset, and two, feeling like you've already missed this run up that we've had to 27K and doesn't believe there's that much more upside.
Yeah, I mean, that's how people think about it. And the point I was just making was I was confused why he was basically suggesting that right now wouldn't necessarily be the best time to dollar cost average. I hope that we can chat with him and Mando about it sometime. I'll reach out to Farouk and all that, try to figure that out, because I think that would be good. I just realized we have buy seller send it to zero on today's show with Easy Eats Bodega. That's pretty damn exciting. I think we should just go right into that. Buy, sell, or send it to zero with our very own Easy Eats Bodega, day trader extraordinaire.
I just bought one.
No, you didn't.
Please sell it.
Oh, no.
Zero. Send it to zero, Easy. This thing is garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got buy, sell, or send it to zero with our very own Easy Eats Bodega, where he breaks down whether he's buying, selling, or sending to zero some of your favorite collections in the NFT space. Easy, are you ready to cook?
I was born ready, Pio. It's go time.
Let's go. First collection, grapes at 0.22 ETH. This is an Animoca-backed 3,300 supply collection. We covered it last week when they ran up to 0.4 ETH. They have teased a token in multiple games and media collaborations. The reveal is believed to be coming this week. What do you think, Easy?
I'm selling here, buying post-reveal. That's my move here. Sell above 0.2, hopefully buy in closer to 0.1. The token speculation is really interesting to me. Animoca backing's a nice little sign. Game's already functioning on the App Store present day. And I think we're going to continue to see a potential bigger gaming swing moving forward. I think that we've now started to get on just the verge of what could be an Apple backing games with NFTs and crypto being able to be purchased now with Apple Pay is going to be huge for anybody that's already in that space. Animoca is going to have a massive threshold in it. I think anything sub 0.15 is where I'm looking. Sell over 0.2.
Okay, but pre-reveal you would buy.
I would sell it right now and then buy post-reveal closer to 0.1.
All right, there we go. Any other thoughts on grapes from Animoca brand? What's going? Nick's laughing. What's going on, buddy?
Did you see the ticker on the bottom of the screen? Kix is actively learning Chinese while Easy apes into crazy degen altcoins.
I'm just throwing random text onto the ticker now. First it was educational. Now I'm just like, oh, what can we put on here? So that's what's going on.
That's pretty funny. Beanz, next collection, Beanz at 1.6 Ethereum. Okay, so they have run with the Azuki, run up 17% in the last 7 days. with Hakkasan coming up in 2.5 weeks. Is that the DJ that they booked? Or what?
No, that's their big Azuki event in Vegas. That's the venue.
Okay, got. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, very high.
I'm a buyer here.
Okay.
Plain and simple, no hesitation on it. I think that with Azuki pushing 2 ETH higher over 17, Beanz have seen a high of 2, and we still haven't reapproached that high. So that's where I'm kind of looking here. Is like right now, sub 2 feels good. I'm just hopeful that we get a nice announcement for both ecosystems at the event. Zagabond has a history of doing some things there that are kind of going on with the overall like IRL events, like the check your phones and then walked off stage type of approach. So I'm hopeful we get some similar event. Guy knows how to really like rile the community up. You look now, like some of the bigger social impact on Twitter is Beanz and Azuki holders, especially on the ETH side. So, I mean, sub 2 just feels good to me. I'd be looking to exit near 2.5, probably right around the 2.4 area.
Interesting. Kicks, what do you think of that Beanz?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like similar to like the U Labs ecosystem where if you want exposure to that ecosystem without spending, 17 plus ETH, I think that's definitely the play to make. Me personally, just I don't win when I buy things above 5 ETH. So if I was going to get Azuki exposure, it would be Beanz.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me too. Clemente, you own a Beanz. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been nice. I bought this thing mine at like 1.3 ish. It's been nice seeing it go up, but I think the performance risk going into the Vegas event, it's so high, and I think there's question marks on how does Azuki get rewarded versus Beanz if there is some sort of catalyst or reward. Personally, I've been thinking, like I was actually talking to Easy about it, if it gets to like 2 to 2.1, I would think about selling into the event if it goes into it. I don't know if it can continue to live past the high expectations after Vegas personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good call. Signal, any thoughts on Beanz at 1.6 Ethereum here?
I like Clemente's summary of performance risk going into June in Vegas. But I do think this is going to be, Azuki season. This is their big thing for pretty much the whole year, I imagine, for 2023. So I think right now at 1.6, this like Beanz is still a buy. I think there's still a lot of anticipation to come. Obviously, Azuki's has run pretty hard, but Beanz is still like they're still kind of lacking there. So I see this going up a bit more. So I'm a buyer of Beanz at here.
Love it. Love the takes, everybody. Last collection on.
Hey, thanks for asking me, Pio. Really appreciate that. My take on Beanz is I like Clemente's analysis here. The one thing I will say, though, is I think Signal may be taking the right approach in the sense that, like, they've been grinding. Their team is significant, and they could come out with something pretty big that is different than what a lot of other people have done up until now. And really what we're looking for is like innovation on the collectible and IP side of things. And that's what is exciting at the moment. Given their price, how high it is, it's like one of those ones where, well, actually, I don't know, Yuga got to a point where it wasn't, they can do no wrong. It was like sell the news became the sort of motto. What was the last event for Azuki that we saw that should be an indicator for this?
Gold skateboard.
Yeah, and then they teased out their metaverse too, right?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a metaverse. We're gonna get the Azuki guy joining the space again to correct us.
That guy, we weren't talking about Azuki at all. I just throw to him and he's just like, yeah, so we're gonna talk about Azuki now. It's like not today, buddy.
But when is their event this weekend?
23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd, end of the month.
18 days.
Consumers across the land are more excited about this than apparently Apple's headset.
I could see that. I think everyone's talking about this over Apple. All right, well, there you go, Nick. You got to weigh in with your analysis. Last collection, Bitcoin Bears.
Okay.
Cubs or Bears?
Bitcoin Bears at
Bitcoin Bear Cubs. Apologies.
Bitcoin Bear Cubs.
10K supply, 0.01 right now.
0.0118 BTC, about $300 is the price. They minted out for 0.0028 BTC. It's a 10K collection. They 3x from there and then pulled back over the weekend. The all-time high was 0.012 BTC. That's crazy. That's like a serious floor. Anyway, Easy, are you buying, selling, or sending them to zero?
I'm selling here. I just think that there's a lot of upcoming ordinal projects that have people like really excited. A lot of upcoming things that have people like looking in that ecosystem, that it would not surprise me to see people rotate out from this and start to look elsewhere, especially because like these are all like in the million range for inscriptions, like upper threshold. It's the OGs are the ones that are like obviously more interesting here. I would not be buying here. I think that taking profit at a 3x on an ordinal to then rotate into something else that's upcoming has a much better R&R.
It sounds like Mr. Yellow's mad at you because he probably owns one.
I love Mr. Yellow.
Kicks, you've been focused on ordinals. What's going on?
Yeah, I agree with Easy. I think.
Hold on. Clemente is just taking one individual's position on this show and turning them into banners.
It's Easy's. It's
It
buy,
doesn't
sell,
say
sell.
easy on the thing. It says Bitcoin Bear Cubs sell.
That is a funny banner. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're only listening on the YouTube, Clemente literally wrote the name of the project, the price, and then in all capitals, the word sell, and then in parentheses, NFA, like not financial advice, just to cover his ass. That was a pretty funny banner for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Easy's take here. I think that if you minted, like right now is a nice price to sell. This is a 10K collection. 10K collection is pretty rare on ordinals. So a lot of these things that you see that are going to higher floors than where Bear Cubs is at. Like, for example, the only exception would be Bitcoin Frogs. Bitcoin Frogs was 10K. They're at 0.07. So, I mean, there is definitely like upside potential on this
But
one.
that's a much lower inscription too for the frogs is the other big thing. Like people say like the inscription number eventually won't count, but right now it still does.
Yeah, and I can see that. I feel that. But I think what Easy's also like alluding to is that there's probably a lot of projects and a lot of supply coming to ordinals, and there's not a lot of like clear indications of which one of these things are going to, break out or do anything significant on the long term. So I think the play on ordinals is definitely like take profits. If you're making 3 to 5Xs, it's better to sit on the liquid and then like wait for the next play. That seems what like I'm in a Twitter chat with like a lot of people that are doing good on this, and that seems to be their play, that it's very trading, getting in and out of these things.
Well, Kicks, it's the same thing. You and me have talked about this. It's the same thing as like early 2021 NFTs and like Nifty Gateway and that whole thing. There are going to be winners right now, but it's so hard to figure out what those winners are.
Yeah.
And also, I almost feel like we're before the time that the winners come. We're in like that first leg, that very first leg where there were basically like very few winners, like no real winners. And when I see these, I'm like, if you can take a profit on this, you got to sell this thing. And there are going to be winners for sure, but I feel like you got to sell it. Nick, what do you think of this Bitcoin thing?
Well, Bitcoin as a whole, complete trash.
Okay,
but these ordinals
Bitcoin Bear Cubs.
Sell it. I mean, that's the synopsis there. Real quick, Easy. Did you sell your OXBT? OX, is that what it is?
OXBT.
Still holding it.
I haven't sold it either. I have 3,000 OXBT.
I'm holding about 100,000, 110,000 of the tokens at the moment still.
Damn.
So I've sold 25K, which covered like I think almost all my costs because I was in near 6 cents, 7 cents average. But I think that these get back above 20 cents. Personally, we're at 17 right now. Just got listed for Binance token price, not buy or sellable, but you can now monitor on Binance in real time. And a few other exchanges have now created it easier to trade them. I'm like really interested to see what happens with it. People just have a lot of strong faith in BitGod, the founder of it. And after my dumbass faded Ordinal Maxi business by ZK Shark, which is now $75,000 per NFT, I'm not going to make that same mistake.
It's at 3 BTC.
ZK's NFT, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's normal.
Yeah. He's the guy, dude. He's the guy. You don't fade him.
It's not normal.
That means Taproot Wizards is going to be like 10 BTC.
Yeah, it's going to be, it probably opens near like 5.
It's going to be a
What's their
house.
supply?
Taproot is probably like 100.
Who knows? But all I know is wait till you see the big time Bitcoin projects. Wait till you see the floor price.
Taproot's like from what I saw is 2,300, I think 2,200 supply.
Wow.
So you guys are just
That's crazy.
casually calling a 23,000 Bitcoin market cap. I mean,
Yes.
just see 23,000 times 27,000, 621 million market cap. Yeah, that sounds-
Y'all ain't seen nothing yet on Bitcoin.
Ain't nothing, dude.
Seen nothing yet.
Don't even
Signal?
know what- Yeah.
On which one? Y'all don't see nothing?
No.
on the bear cubs. No, I agree with you, man. Like, there's something very sexy about the high rollers table on Ordinals. It's just like, you want to go get a sugar daddy, go make sure he's on Bitcoin. And we all got a sugar daddy on the show. He's called Pio.
I'm the sugar daddy.
You're the Bitcoin sugar daddy. No. But like, no, I agree with that easy on this take. And the fact that there's too many interesting things that I'm also hearing about that people sound way more excited for than the current bears. So I'd be selling here, taking my profits and just seeing if you can catch something cool on allow list or secondary for future projects for sure.
There we go. Any closing thoughts on this one? The last one in buy, sell, or send it to zero. Sounds like it was sell, buy, sell on the three collections. Nick?
Which one?
Just
The
any
Bears?
on the Bears. Yeah. Any closing thoughts, buddy?
So, I mean, sell them. Like with some random project. I'm good on this. OXBT though, I'm glad that Easy's still holding because I'm still holding that only because I have taken zero time to make any consideration about this whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Nick. But now that it's listed, the price is listed on Binance, it might still go up. Easy, did you sell your captain since we're almost at 10?
No, I haven't sold it yet.
So you're not going to...
I'm still kind of set on 10, but it's one of those things right now where like seeing D-Gods run how they have, I don't want to do what I always do and like readjust the price. Like I'm notorious for it. So I'm probably going to end up listing it slightly over 10 and seeing if it sells.
Wait. You just moved your target. Before it was 10. We're at like 9 point.
I know.
You change numbers all the time, man. Like you mentioned captains at point 2. And then now it's like reach your target of like.
And I'm getting greedy. I know.
You're getting greedy, right? You need to stick to your targets. You know, the great thing about Easy is like I always take his opinion when he's not in a collection. And then his targets are just like sniper. They're just but when you're in it, you get that bias, and then you start moving your target.
I start letting emotions trade. Realistically, I need to list it at 9.99 and call it a day, and just let it sell and forget about it, because that's been the exit target for so long. Yeah, I've been saying 10 for too long.
He's been saying it. You could sell Easy. I'll buy it off of you
for 10. Yeah, okay.
The biggest thing that a lot of people talk about, or that I've spoken with about, like, why would you buy an Azuki, for example, like at this level? Why would you buy an ape at this level, for example, unless you truly want it for the collectability side of it? But like,
there is a lot of Benipple activity and blend activity happening at the moment. So you need to take that into account, that not all of these Azukis are being bought at like 17 ETH, which makes a huge difference.
Okay. I mean, still though, like, what's your upside potential with these trades?
Well,
like when you buy it like 10 ETH or something like that, and it goes up to 15 ETH, you get 50% versus the trade that Easy had, which was like buy something, make 300%, 500%. Which of those gains are you more interested in? Like, especially in a high risk asset, like. If you're looking for 20% yield, go buy Apple stock. What or Microsoft even. Like what else? Like why would you be operating in this space when the ROI is so much lower?
Well, Nick, it's a good question, buddy. And people in the audience were saying that you're the sensible one today. Sounds like it. I mean, having said that, you did hold an ape up until $500,000 almost, and you were like, "This makes sense." So I'm yeah.
Well, that was also, that pump was into an airdrop in which I got hundreds of thousands of dollars. So like, it wasn't exactly like I lost a bunch of money. I got
you lost money
that I sold each for what, $75,000.
I think it was like 100.
Yeah.
You got two quotas?
I had two.
No, you had two mutant M2 serums.
Two M2s. Oh, I only had one coda.
Yeah, and you sold that for $100,000. Not too shabby. The literal all-time high. Anyway, all right, so we're moving on. We're going to drop this free NFT, and then we have a little special thing today. Clemente, let's hit the free NFT and let's keep it moving.
Yeah, the free NFT for today, the password is Monkey8, Monkey 8. Go to the nifty.com/claim. You enter that password and your email, and you're going to be able to claim today's free NFT brought to you by Jesse Smith as part of the Artist Spotlight series.
Yeah, I agree, Nick. It's a badass free NFT from very talented artist that was featured on Artist Spotlight, Jesse Smith. McKenna, the mushroom-infested monkey, is the name of the piece. Love that. Let me get this description, Clemente. Here we go. Can you zoom in a little bit more so I can read it? Thank you. Thank you. Most would speculate that an infestation of mushrooms would work against you, but these particular mushrooms seem to have enhanced the capabilities of this particular monkey. Not only have they enhanced the monkey's overall cognitive ability, but we also caught it mimicking the words that we spoke with each other. I don't think it knew what it was saying, but its ability to mimic the sounds that it heard was like nothing we had ever seen from any primates back home. That's a quote from Jesse Smith. I mean, at this point, I just feel like this guy should be doing a Netflix documentary, but it's a good thing that we got him making art. So shout out to Jesse Smith, featured on Artist Spotlight. This piece is dope. Clemente's got some tweets pinned. Make sure you follow Jesse. The password, again, at thenifty.com/claim is Monkey8. So all lowercase, Monkey, and then the number 8. Make sure you show Jesse some love. Let him know if you enjoy the piece after you claim it. He's in the crowd right now, but Clemente's got tweets pinned that have his Twitter account. And Clemente, we have one more thing right now, right?
One more thing. This is the big one. People were excited about this one. It's day 1 of the 10 days of BoDogmas. So we're giving away 10 AL1 spots, and we're going to be doing this with a cool little giveaway mechanic.
AL short for allow list.
Yep. Allow list 1 spots.
Allow list 1 spots or dog list for the upcoming exciting mint of BoDogos. So today we're going to be giving away 10 spots. We're going to tweet out the winners, but just to quickly read them out, the 10 winners are Kamikaze, Nate Dogg, Johnny Blaze, Ellie, Terry Cherry, Tyler, JD Blacklung, Tenacious.eth, Treasure, and I Know a Guy.eth. Congratulations, guys. We're going to be DMing you a one-time code to mint a VIP ticket. We got some cool art that we're going to show you in just a second.
Big fan of JD Blacklung. Great guy.
So a couple of notes here. AL1, allow list 1 means it's a guaranteed mint, basically.
Yes.
So there's a limited number of those spots. So to clarify that, that's a guaranteed spot. Clemente selected people based on their Twitter Spaces engagement with us and loyal listeners of the show.
Through Spaces dashboard, right? So we had actual data and analytics that showed us
Super Spaces over the listening activity over the last 30 days was the way we picked them today, but over the next every single day is going to be completely different. So get ready. We have some really cool mechanics that we're doing there. But if you've been listening and you've been engaging, collecting free NFTs and listening to the show, you're in very good hands over the next 9 days. So be on the lookout. Keep listening to the Spaces and make sure to follow BoDogos and the Nifty portal for more news on that.
Ace says there's no love for YouTube fam.
So I think now
just say.
So the next one is YouTube focused.
Whoa.
There will be. Or go ahead.
All I'll say is there was a reason why I asked for some Twitter usernames at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, don't fade Clemente.
Come on now.
So there you go. Clemente, should we implement a rule? If you complain about not getting the win on YouTube, then you can't be qualified, but everybody else on YouTube? Is that what we should do, Clemente? Is that what we should do?
We might have to. But stay tuned for day 2. It's going to be a big, and we're going to have a bunch of different raffles. We're cranking it up. There were only 10 winners today, but tomorrow we're going to bring the heat. So yeah, if you won, be on the lookout for a DM from the Nifty portal for a mint code to mint the VIP ticket that grants you AL1 allow list 1 for the BoDogos mint coming up.
There you go. So yeah, keep complaining about stuff. We're just going to roll out rules that let everybody else on the platform you're complaining about win except you. So not the best idea, ladies and gentlemen. This is day one. Anyway, the 10 days of BoDogmas, gearing up. Sorry, I was getting a call. Gearing up for, this drop. This is going to be money, baby. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you subscribe or go to the nifty.com, make an account, claim today's free NFT, follow the show on Twitter.